Hey there guys and girls, been over a year since I did a Q&A video. How have you all been? Okay, so it's time for question number 18. Why don't you use Patreon? Right, how this story goes is back on a website called Deviantart, right? And it's where one of my subscribers called Blue Sapphire asked me, I really love your images and animations. Say, why don't you set up a Patreon page? That way, your most dedicated fans can support you while you make them. How about it? By the way, she said this over a year ago. I did say at the time, nah, I'd have to stick with a strict schedule, and people may not support my work. Plus, I only have like 60 subscribers right now. The good thing is, I have looked into something called Ko-fi, and that isn't month-based, making things easier. One of the other advantages is Ko-fi doesn't take a fee, making things easier for supporters. Oh, and I did open a survey not that long ago, roughly about 2 weeks ago, saying, is it worth making a Ko-fi account type thing? And even though it says it in percentages, one person said no, don't try it. About 3 or 4 people said yeah, it's awesome, and most people, surprisingly enough, from my community said I don't know. So I thought, okay, looks like not a lot of people actually know about Ko-fi. Okay. What people will probably be asking me in my comment sections is, how come you want to do a Ko-fi page on your animations? What about your game Let's Plays that you like doing? Well, let's be honest, right? Most of my subscribers subscribe to me because of these animations I've been making and such. As far as I know, at least 60% of my viewers actually come to me because of my animations, whereas my gameplay based videos that I do in my spare time, that's actually getting like 40 views at the most, whereas an animation like this gets like nearly 200 views, so that's why. I think it's because animations that I make are like completely the original, and it's something you're not going to find anywhere else on the internet. Whereas, let's say, Streets of Rage, Let's Plays and such, there's plenty of those already. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do Let's Plays, but you get the point though. It's like, well, you're not going to find any of these characters on anyone else's channel, are you? And that's the same for other characters I'm going to be showcasing in a minute. I've been getting a lot of really positive feedback on my animations and stuff, and a lot of people, both offline and online, are saying, oh wow, this artwork's awesome, they love the characters in it, and everything, right? It's like, yeah, these do take a long time to make, I will say, and they're like, oh, I'm not surprised, they're so good, and stuff like that, right? And it's just like, wow. Well, yeah, these do take a long time, especially this canteen scene. This one scene here without animation, this took me about 20 hours. Well, there's 6 characters, what do you expect? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're just background, these 2, whereas the other 4 are actually like talking and such. But there you go. And I've been getting quite a few comments saying, Medusa's pretty, Kyoka's pretty, Yuet's pretty. It's like, oh, thanks a lot, I actually really appreciate that. Oh, and don't forget Shamina as well. I've been getting a lot of lovely comments about her as well. And it's like, oh wow, that's actually really nice of you to actually say, especially since both boy and girl viewers actually been saying things like this. It's like, oh, that actually is very nice to actually hear. I really like the fact that people have been saying nice things like that. They do think that end's cool and all. Well, most people do anyway. But it's like, yeah, but he is like the main character. But one thing that's been on my mind is the fact that N does have armor that I came up with that's inspired by Mega Man characters. Now, obviously it's not exactly the same, but if you look carefully, right, it's where Mega Man is totally inspired off Astro Boy. So there's that, because if you look carefully, right, it's where Mega Man has an arm cannon like he does, even though you can't see his arm cannon there. He's got long boots on up to his knees just like he does as well, and it's where they both got superhero pants on, and it's where they both also are robot boys as well, so there's that as well. Oh, and also, believe it or not, right, I've actually watched Astro Boy before, and Astro Boy actually has a dog, and guess what, Mega Man having Rush as his dog, they must have got it off Astro Boy as well. So to be honest, that's a little bit too similar, but there you go. But if the makers behind Astro Boy don't really say anything against Capcom for making up Mega Man and making him too similar, then I'm pretty sure that with N looking like a Mega Man character who's got different outfits anyway, right, I'm pretty sure they won't say anything against me. That's basically the point. And also, right, one of the characters I based N's armor off is totally off Protoman. You can look carefully and see that he's got a scarf on, whereas N does as well, just white. Right, I was thinking about putting more detail on his scarf by putting like the crest symbols on N's scarf, but there you go. If you look carefully, Protoman's hair looks nothing like N's, right? If you look carefully at N, it's where his hair, to be honest, his hair does look a bit like Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. It's because I think it's because N and Sephiroth have grey hair. I think that's why they kind of look a little bit the same. I know I did not get the grey hair off Sephiroth. I just came up with that myself. Well, I did base the hair kinda off Final Fantasy Boys, but there you go. But it's not like exactly the same. It's not even as long as Sephiroth's hair anyway. So yeah, there's that. And before I forget, it's where Protoman is totally off Cyborg 009 because he's got brown hair and so does he. He's got a yellow scarf, so does he. They both use a gun of some sort as well, and they're both robots as well. So, you know, it's like, basically, if Capcom's allowed to inspire characters off other people's characters, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be allowed to inspire my characters off other people's, while actually profiting off them. I think the reason why a Mega Man character is allowed to look like other characters is because it's not Astro Boy being in a Capcom game. It's not Cyborg 009 being in a Mega Man game. If you take someone else's character and plonk him into your game, which you shouldn't be anyway, then you are hitting a copyright. Well, they can't really say much about N being in Mega Man style armor when I've come up with different armors. I'll even show it right here, right? If you look here, that's supposed to be N when he's younger, right? And it's where he's got a different outfit on there. So, and it's where here, that's supposed to be when he's like 15 odd. If you look carefully, I based the outfit off Link from Legend of Zelda. Now, even if Nintendo says, oh, your character's outfit looks like Link's, but it's like, well, you get your character off Robin Hood technically, and he even uses his bow and arrow, and Robin Hood's a real man, so, you know, everyone gets that inspiration somewhere, right? Oh, and one thing, right? Over on DeviantArt, there's a lot of people that's actually been commissioned with over £100 just to draw this character, Pyra, from Xenoblade Chronicles, right? And it's like, hang on, why are people being paid £100 just to draw someone else's character on? And by the way, this is just one example. As soon as Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out, right, it's like there were at least 100 artists that were suddenly making fan art of it, and they were being paid to do this. By the way, it was just things like, oh, it's just her sitting on a chair or something and striking lots of different poses. It's like, why are people going around profiting off someone else's character without permission? I don't get it, because people have told me, even before I made a DeviantArt account ages ago, oh, you cannot actually profit off published characters because it comes up as illegal. Also, that's what people have been telling me anyway. But it's like, I don't get it. By the way, this is just one example. I was gonna talk about Camilla from Fire Emblem because there's actually quite a few commissions of her, even though it's like fan made, and it's just like, shouldn't you like ask for permission first before you even draw someone else's character up? But anyway, so in the interest of fairness, if these people are allowed to be paid £100 to draw someone else's character up when they don't have permission to, then I'm pretty sure that I should be allowed to profit off my own characters, don't you think? Oh, and guess what? It's where there's a game series I played called Azure Striker Gunvolt, and there's a character called Copen, right? And you get to play as him, right? If you look carefully, not only does he look like a Mega Man character, but he also gets special weapons like him as well. So, and they're called EX weapons instead. And that's the similar thing with Beck from My Number 9. Right, and he also has an arm cannon. You can't see it here, but there you go. And so he also has an arm cannon, and he gets special weapons in a similar way. So if Capcom's gonna go around saying, "Hey, why do you have a character that looks like Mega Man?" It's like, well, if indie creators are allowed to make up a character that's just like Mega Man, but doesn't look exactly the same, obviously, because Mega Man doesn't have white hair or red eyes or anything like that, and if concepts are allowed to make up a robot boy like Mega Man, who's off Astro Boy anyway, then I'm pretty sure I can actually use that same armor that's on it, right? But another thing I forgot to point out is this animation I'm making right now, right? The Singing Tricks one, it's not even a game anyway, and even if I did make a game, I wouldn't even use the SilverHunter armor, basically. Or rather should I say, even if I did make a game, I'd just make up a fresh new outfits for N, which I've already made up quite a few outfits for him anyway. But there you go. So that's everything for now, but the thing is I've not made my coffee page yet. Once I do, I'll make another video and I'll tell you more about it, because I've not even fully confirmed what tiers I'm gonna be putting on yet or anything like that, and also I have to go do the biography as well. But there you go. So yeah, so Blue Sapphire, if you're watching, I hope I answered your question. Sorry if it's not Patreon related, but Ko-fi seems like a much better option, but for certain reasons anyway. Thank you for watching the video. If you want to actually show your support, you may tick like, share, or subscribe to my channel. You can even do all three of them if you want to. So yeah, and with that, I'll end off the video. So thanks you for watching.